What's going on, guys? Brother Russia here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And today we got the 55% showcase for the new DOKKANFEST LR Omega Shenron. So it's been a very long time since Omega actually got a DOKKANFEST unit. His last DOKKANFEST happened to be the other physical Omega Shenron, which was part of the to-be-released saga that global players had went through. So yeah, it's been a very long time. If you were around for the to be released, that was the last time we got a DOKKANFEST Omega Shenron. So we finally got a new one. They updated animations. Seems to look pretty good. He's got a domain, stuff like that. So let's kind of let's talk about his domain real quick. Inhuman deeds, power absorption, GT bosses, category enemies, and allies get 25% attack. Okay, no defense. Increase damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 20%, plus an additional 10% for characters who also belong to Earth Protecting Heroes, Fuse Fighters, or GT Heroes. Okay. So we get no attack, which is a little odd, or we get no defense, I mean, which is a little odd for the domain. But superclass enemies will be taking 20% more damage, and then an additional 10% if they're on Fuse Fighter, GT Hero, or Earth Protecting Heroes. Okay, interesting. Let's talk about him real quick. Leader skill, Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, GT Bosses, the three categories that the domain actually hits. 3 key, 200% HP, 107% attack and defense. Gives the additional 50% to characters who belong to Shadow, Dragon Saga, Worldwide Chaos, or Battle of Fate. Now, I kind of wish that Battle of Fate would have been one of his main leader skills instead. Because that definitely would have hit so many more characters and power absorption. Honestly, if they would have just switched like power absorption and Battle of Fate, that would have been cool, but whatever, I guess. 12 key super raises defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy, greatly lowers attack and defense. 18 key greatly raises defense for 4 turns, causes mega colossal damage to all enemies, disables enemy action once within the turn. Okay. So he's got an AoE, which I wonder if that makes him a good World Tournament unit or not. I'm gonna have to ask. The guys what they feel on that one. So he's got an entrance animation when all allies are extreme class. Okay. So extreme class allies, chance of performing a crit go up 20%, and randomly changes tech or AGL key spheres to rainbow for 1 turn. Okay. Launches an additional super, and extreme class allies get 2 key, 70% attack for 4 turns. Okay. That's a once only thing. Okay, so he kind of does the same thing as like Gogeta does, but Gogeta gives 70% defense. This guy gives attack. So they're kind of like flip-flopped a little bit. So he gets 3 key, 300% attack and defense. Gets an extra 1 key per key sphere obtained. 50% damage reduction. Randomly changes physical or int key spheres to rainbow. Okay. A lot of rainbow orb changing that he's doing. With a rainbow key sphere obtained, extreme class allies get 70% defense and an additional damage reduction of 10% for characters who also belong to GT bosses category for 2 turns. I'm sorry. What? So GT bosses is getting 10% damage reduction and 70% defense. Okay. 150% attack when attacking. When key is 18 or more, he gets 150% attack when attacking. He gets 150% defense when receiving an attack. 24 key performs a crit. When receiving an unarmed super attack, he has a great chance of nullifying and countering with tremendous power. He nullifies and counters when HP is 70% or less guaranteed. Okay. After performing 5 or more attacks in battle, extreme class allies get 2 ki and a chance to perform a crit up 20%. And he randomly changes tech or AGL key spheres to rainbow, starting from the character's next attacking turn. So he's literally just going to pick like tech, AGL, int, or fizz, and literally just rainbow orb change. So he's basically touching everything except STR. What the hell? Okay. Well, he definitely needs a rainbow orb, so we definitely got to make sure we get that. He does have an active skill. It can be activated when there's another Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, or GT Bosses category ally attacking in the same turn, or after the character performs 5 or more attacks in battle. Creates the domain Earth Shrouded minus energy for 3 turns. Okay, so his active skill is literally just his domain. Okay. Interesting. Well, we got him at 55%. No equips. Link level 1. We're going to hop in like this. I'm basically running like a full Rose team for this showcase. I did not grind up the new LR Nova Shenron yet. Plus, we do have sub EZAs coming for the LR Shadow Dragons and the Tech Sin Shenron, and a super EZA for STR Omega Shenron. So this team is going to be a lot better once we actually get those. It's just unfortunately we don't have any of the EZAs yet, and I haven't had a chance to grind up the Nova yet. So okay, so there's the entrance animation. And we can automatically just bust out his domain. We may as well. You know what? Let's just go ahead and pop this. All right, so now we got the domain going as well. So this is given Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, GT Bosses, 25% attack. So I know we don't have many links active. Yeah, we only got 3 links active. We're not going to have big bad bosses up either because it's not link level 10. So unless we're like a certain HP threshold, yeah, this is not, big bad bosses is not activating unless we're at 80% or less. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a super with Rose, because when Rose attacks, he's going to give a 60% attack buff to the rest of the rotation. So Omega is going to get a nice little buff here. Okay, so we're going to give him the rainbow orb. So with that rainbow orb, he's given 70% defense to all allies. And we don't have anybody on here that's GT bosses, so we don't have to worry about that. The only GT boss that we actually have is LR Baby, but he's not going to be up here till next rotation. Oh, I forgot. These guys are taking way more damage because of the domain being up. So let's do this. Let's put you up front instead. Okay, so the friend actually has big bad bosses activated. 371k defense. Let's just see. Let's just see what kind of damage he does. Now, this is, you know, we can't forget, we do have this domain up, which is giving us a massive attack boost. We took no damage. That's good. 51 million. Okay. It's pretty solid, I would say. Into a 31 million. Okay, so his attack stats are, you know, definitely not as high as like Gogeta's were. But what this guy really is doing is he is a huge support buff for he is a massive support buff right now for extreme class units. Like extreme class really needed this. That is a very bright battle motion that they gave him. Okay, so this is mine that does not have big bad bosses active. So Rosé's probably just gonna trash these guys. Yeah, this domain actually does like a pretty significant. It's a huge buff. Yeah, I can't even attack with my Omega. I just want to give him a little attack boost. That's all. Okay, so we can get another domain going, which is fine. Yeah, so I mean, this domain is actually super good. 25% attack for basically his whole leader skill. And then superclass enemies take increased damage of 20% and an extra 10% if they're fuse fighter, GT heroes, or earth protecting heroes. Which theoretically, this Vegito is indeed that. So, I mean, let's just do this with 4 links. Okay. Yeah. I mean, needless to say, we're doing some really good damage here. Okay, how much is he going to take from this super? Let's see. If we die, I mean, it's fine. It's whatever. We can hop back in again. 761. Okay. We survived it, though. And then did a 50 million attack stat. There's the action break into a 30 million attack stat. Yeah, wow. I mean, we did a lot of damage right there. We took a good amount of damage, but we survived it though. Because the domain itself has not given us any defense. It's just straight up attack. It's crazy. This should do like nothing to us. Especially after supering. Yep. Figured as much. Then this poor guy is just smacking a 5 million attack stat because he's not built up at all. Maybe we'll have to put my Omega first. Just so we can see an attack stat out of him. And then, you know, we can kind of base it off of that, like how much damage can this guy actually do. Because the 2 attacks that we've seen so far has been from the friend who has big bad bosses activated. Which that is given a pretty massive like buff. So let's do this. Give you that. We're just gonna pop a Sensu just so we can get full HP. So I'm not gonna worry about the attack buff because we just keep killing them anyway. So let's just see what Omega can do. Okay, so 35 mil. So this is like a nice raw unit instead of you know, Big Bad Boss is active. I mean, that's a pretty significant damage though. 50 million to, you know, 50 million unit compared to 35 million. That Big Bad Bosses makes a huge difference. But then again, Gogeta kind of is the same way because he's got Saiyan Roar, which is a huge buff if you actually get it, you know, get it activated. So we got what? Yeah, we got the domain up for one more turn. So let's just see what this friend's got. Yeah, we got 5 out of 7 active. We don't have Shadow Dragons. And we don't have Brutal Beatdown, which those are two really good moves that we could have active when the Tech Shenron, Tech Sin Shenron gets his Easy A. 35.9 mil. Okay. I mean, he's doing decent damage at least. He doesn't have a crazy attack stat like Gogeta does, which is kind of insane because this guy's like a DOKKANFEST unit. So I thought he would be hitting a little bit harder, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt. We don't have like a full good team for this guy right now. Once we get the super easy A, once we get like an actual super easy A for the STR, Omega Shenron, and then, you know, the Texan Shenron gets his sub easy A. Shadow Dragons get their sub easy, or they get their easy A. Like all these units getting their easy A's and stuff like that is going to help out Omega tremendously, because then we don't have to run a full team of like Rosés like this. So essentially it's like, hey, for this Int Rosé we can run the LR Nova. For this AGL Rosé we can run Tech Sin Shenron. Instead of this STR Goku Black and Zamasu's body, we can run the Shadow Dragon like legions. So it's like there's a bunch of units that we can, you know, replace once they get their easy A's and super easy A's, and then we can hit a lot more of the links for Omega and stuff like that. And then, you know, we can make a rotation where STR Rosé could do a super first, which would give us the extra 60% attack and yada yada yada, which maybe I don't know, I was gonna say maybe I'll wait until to do my rainbow video, but I want to get it out like as soon as possible for you guys as well. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll revisit it after these units get their easy A's and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll definitely be back to do rainbow videos on them. But there you guys go. Just a quick little video on Omega just to see how he performed at 55%. He does look like he's about a 35 to 50 million attack statter. So not as high as like what Gogeta did, but this guy is mainly a support unit for extreme class units. And extreme class this guy is exactly what extreme class needed. So let me know down in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are on this LR physical Omega Shenron. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you guys are new here, hit that subscribe as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Brother Russia, the whale of whales, rainbow everything, buying all the sales. In Dokkan battle, I reign supreme. 10K stones, it's not a dream.